did a thing. We're giving drama today. We're giving extra. If you want to see how I got this, then keep watching. Welcome back. Hi, my name's Liz. Welcome to my makeup garden. We're gonna do a get ready with me today. Not because I have anywhere to go, just because I feel like playing with my makeup, and there's a couple of new things that I want to try. I'm gonna try these new brushes that I got. These are by Arttitude Cosmetics, and these were part of their ManEater Untamed palette, like their ManEater Untamed collection. Sorry, don't mind my bruise. My son bit me. They're like, little ones are like Sour Patch Kids, I swear. But yeah, I want to try these because I haven't tried them yet. So I also have their makeup sponge, which feels like a Real Techniques sponge. So that's cool. I'm not sure how much these go for, but if they're cheaper than a Real Techniques, then it might be worth getting a few. I'm going to be using my Lethal Cosmetics Night Flower palette today, which I've had for a hot minute. And then I think I'm going to use my Blend Bunny Juicy Cheeks palette. So, okay. So, I maybe want to use the purple blushes in here. I want to use these today. So in order for my eye look to be like cohesive, because I kind of want to blush drape a little bit, I'm going to use these in my crease. Now these are supposed to be pretty pigmented. So I'm going to use this as my transition and put a little bit of this in my crease so that when I go to do my blush, like when I go to do my like blush drape, they're like cohesive. Does that make sense? So I'm just gonna grab this like loose kind of blending brush, dip into this darker shade Ripe, and just put a little bit of that, oh look, eye boogie, excuse me, in my crease, and let's see how it goes. So this like cheek palette, this Juicy Cheeks palette, it's supposed to be able to be used for like eyes and cheeks. So I was like, okay, well, and I'm going to use my Night Flower like palette with it, but I just want to put a little bit of this color. This is a color Ripe in my crease. And then I'll be able to like blush drape later. I just kind of want all of those colors to tie together, you know? That's what we're going for. We're going for some cohesiveness here. Maybe not perfection, but cohesiveness. Well, so far, I mean, this color is pigmented enough to use on the eyes, so that's cool. I'm not layering it up too, like, heavy. I don't want to be too heavy-handed, because I am going to use my Night Flower palette, but I just want to put a little bit on here. This is a good tone of purple, so purple can be tricky, right? Because if you get the wrong color purple on the wrong, like, there is no wrong skin tone, but on a skin tone that doesn't vibe with that color, then it can look like a bruise. So like there are some purples that I purposely don't use because it looks like I got punched in the eyeball. And so far on mine, this seems to be okay. I think it's warm enough and that's why it's fine, you know? But it's a pretty purple. All right, I'm gonna take that same brush. I'm just gonna tap off if there's any excess. Use my color switch here. And I'm gonna go into Sticky Sweet, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of that in my transition, so. But hi, darlings, how are you? I have been just like, it's been hectic. Like the babies are very busy right now. And, you know, it's just, it is what it is. And I haven't had a lot of like free time for filming, which is, you know, not ideal considering that I actually really like it. So yeah, both of these color purples are doing really well. If you notice, like I have eye cream on, so don't mind the extra shiny. That's just why. But they're definitely like blending and they're pigmented enough to be visible. So that's a win. I need to get my eyebrows done so bad. I'm just too lazy. Just haven't done it. But I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. Getting a refresh on this purple because it is a mess. Okay, so we're gonna go into the Lethal palette. This brush worked well, so I didn't have like any loose bristles or anything like that, so that's a win. And it looks like there are different kinds here. There's different types of bristles. they're all soft. They all feel soft and they don't appear to be shedding. This one looked like it might, but it's not. So that's good. So far I like this. I think the brush set was like 49 bucks for all of them with the cup. Well, 49 euro with the cup. So for an entire brush set, I don't think that's bad. All right, let's see. Since I already have like a transition and like, you know, a little bit in my crease, why don't we deepen up the crease a little bit? Let's go in with this color here and we'll deepen our crease with that. So I almost wish there was a warmer dark purple in this palette, if that makes sense. This is very much like a kind of a cooler, and I do have a thing here, so. But it's very pretty. I like this palette. I'm considering getting the Wildflower palette, which is the new launch from Lethal. It feels like a companion palette for the Nightflower palette, if that makes sense. Like there's so many duochromes and 2 trichromes, and it almost feels like it's complementary to this palette. So I don't know. I'm considering it. I don't know. If that's something you think I should get, why don't you comment like in the comments below? But I'm on the fence about it. It's like, it's not an immediate need for me, if that makes sense. So, all right. Deepening this up. I wanted to use these brushes with products that I've used before, with the exception of the cheek palette, but I wanted to use them with products that I've used before because, you know, when you test out a new brush, you don't need to like, use it with a bunch of things that you haven't, you know, used, because then you don't actually know how the brushes perform. I don't know, it's just me. Like sometimes I see new makeup videos and like every single item they're using is new. And like, but how do you know what's what? Like, how do you know how the product actually is if you have no baseline for even your base? You know, I don't know, it's just me maybe, but I appreciate it when a creator tries new stuff. They use stuff that they know, you know? So, okay. Well, that's pretty. Well, all right. I think those tones go really well together. That's nice. Okay, so I'm going to use my NYX glitter glue. This look is going to be really similar, by the way, to one that I did the other day. I didn't record that look as like a get ready with me, but I did do my Pass or Smash video wearing that look. So I figured it would be useful if you're curious about it to do something similar so that you kind of had something to go off of, you know? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to, you look at something, you're like, oh, I really like that. How did you make that? And then it's like crickets, you know? So I don't get a lot of time to film right now, but I will try to include at least some of the looks that I do, you know? I think it's important. Either here or shorts on my Instagram. So yeah, it's you know, very busy. We're getting ready to go on a family vacation. We have no idea where we're going. We're just gonna kind of putz around the state and, you know, build those memories with our daughter and our little man. So, okay. So I have my glitter primer on. I'm gonna use this shade here, and I'm gonna use this brush. It's like a rounded packing brush. I think based off the bristles for this would be a good brush to apply glitter primer with if you don't want to use your finger, or shimmers with. Even concealer for doing cut creases, it's a good shape for that. All right. Oh, it picked up the shadow beautifully. Look at that, easy peasy. Easy peasy. Wow, okay. That picked up the shadow gorgeous. Love it. All right. Nice, very nice. I like. Okay, cool. I'm digging that. So tell me, how are things in your world? I've just been like, honestly, just kind of focusing on like me and mine, and you know, like the world feels like it's burning down, and I just, you know, sometimes I like this to be a reprieve from that. So if I don't talk about like politics or anything like that on this in this space, just know that I have very deeply held beliefs. But I want this to be kind of a place that's exempt from all that, you know. Like I feel like things can be very overwhelming sometimes, and it's just kind of nice to have a place to go that's not gonna bombard you with, you know, everything going on and remind you. So I'm sorry if this reminds you, but all right, that worked beautifully. So I think I want to add a little bit of extra dimension here. And I'm gonna go into, let's go into this shade here. So I think that's gonna end up tying with the blue that I'm gonna use for my inner corner. So that's nice. All right, so I'm just tapping that on. That's one thing, I wish there were like names on the back or like names on the palette. I understand why there isn't. So Lethal very much likes to do, they very much like to keep things modular almost, where you can, you know, customize your palettes and do all that. I'm just taking a little bit of that purple, that deeper purple shimmer, and I am just gonna put a little bit here, I think, just to create a little bit of dimension. Yeah, I like that. It's not like a true halo eye, but it's just a little bit of something, you know? But they keep things modular, which I understand. But it would be nice to be able to quick reference the shades without having to pull the shade out. I think that looks good. Cool. We're not gonna finish up this eye look just yet because we are gonna do the rest of the makeup. So let's go ahead and work on complexion. So I have their sponge here, but I'm pretty sure that this is a flat kabuki brush. It's not quite as dense as I would think for foundation use, but I think it'll get the job done just spreading it around my face. So I am gonna use the Joah BB cream. This is in the color Nude. This is probably a little bit light for me, but that's okay. We're gonna use bronzer and concealer. I'm just trying to use this one up because, you know, I've had it for a bit. Yeah, I'm very excited to try the palette that goes with this collection, but I wanted to try the brushes separately because I just did. And sometimes that's good enough. So, all right. I have a little bit of like a chaotic when it comes to applying my foundation. I just kind of stick it on places and then I will swirl it around. Yeah, this feels like it's not quite dense enough for what I want. So I'm just gonna move this down my neck a little bit because it is a little bit too light. And I think the foundation, like this BB cream, the formula has changed a little bit because it is starting to get older. So see how much lighter, but that's okay. We're gonna use a cream bronzer that I'm used pretty regularly. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna use bronzer, like regular bronzer, so it's fine. It's the yellow death mask. No, it's fine. Trust the process. When it's all said and done, you know, it'll be fine. Now, even though this isn't a very dense kabuki, it does appear to be moving the product all over the face okay. And honestly, I don't see streak lines. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. We are gonna use the makeup sponge to push the product into the skin. But as a foundation brush, I'm really not mad at this. Like, not at all, so. Okay then. All right, and we're just gonna move this down a little bit just to kind of bring things together. I am very tan right now, and my face has more yellow in it than the rest of the skin on my body. So the rest of my skin is very much, you know, neutral or just kind of red in general. So, all right. That did a really good job. I'm honestly a little shook. I'm a little shook. I wasn't thinking that it was gonna because of the texture of the bristles, like the density, but it is. The sponge feels really nice. It is damp, so it doesn't feel like it's picking up additional product though. And I'm just bouncing product into the skin, up along the hairline here. So, cool. Cool. Just tappa, tappa, tappa. Sorry, the air conditioner cut on, and it sounds like a train when it goes on. So, okay. Well, I think that's good. I think we're good, right? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, this BB cream definitely emphasizes my mustache if I haven't like dermaplaned it, if I haven't gotten it off. I feel like it emphasizes it. All right, we're just gonna use our finger and the beauty sponge for concealer. But anyway, but this, I do notice, see how it's built, like blending into my skin? It doesn't oxidize a lot. This has been like I've really enjoyed this. It's almost empty actually. I think I've got maybe 10 uses left. But here we go, a little bit of this. I don't do a lot of concealer, so we'll just use a sponge. But it definitely emphasizes my mustache though, which don't know that I love that. I guess it depends on my mood. I always used to joke that I'm like, oh, my mustache is finally growing in. But then like as you approach your mid-30s and up, because I'm 36, you're like, you know, I almost wish that wasn't a reality. Like I wish that wasn't the reality. Like I joke about it because, you know, you can't joke about things, you know, what are you doing? But okay. Well, that blended out seamlessly and it didn't pick up my concealer or my BB. So that's good. I do feel like I'm definitely gonna powder today. And I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more concealer here. You know, honestly, should probably have used a color corrector, but it's fine. But yeah. So there's not too much happening in this realm. I'm just kind of like sitting back, working on some stuff and looking for a part-time job because my husband's schedule is crazy. So trying to find something with flexible hours it's important, but I don't want to work. Oh, I like just like focus on the hand, nothing else. I don't want to work at a grocery store like I used to because it would just be going backwards for me. So I'm like, yeah, not trying to do that, you know. It would just be going backwards for me. I don't know. It's not for me. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this brush because it's got that nice taper to powder under my eyes. But, you know, I think it would be easy to just go back and do the same thing I was doing before. Using the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless, whatever they call it. Flawless finish. The brush is working well. I don't feel like the product wants to sit on the end of the brush though. It wants to pick up more here. And since I don't use a lot of powder on my face, you know, I think that would make it a little bit more difficult. I like something a little smaller usually, but I don't see anything in here for that. So just doing a little bit of that because that's really the only place that I do that. So anyway, trying to find like a part-time job. Just honestly, I'm a people person and I miss talking to people. I'm around little kids, you know, my babies all day. Baby, I should say, because the other one's in school. So, all right, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use just the bronzer. I'm not going to use the blush because we are going to do the juicy cheeks on the face. So I'm using this brush, which feels a little denser. So I think it's going to be good for contour. And the reason I like this BB so much is that I have a natural flush in my cheeks and it lets it just come through. You know, it lets enough of it come through. So just tapping that. That seems to be working well. Okay. You know, I don't expect crazy things from my brushes, right? I don't feel like I have that expert level that warrants that, you know? I'm just a girl who likes to do her makeup, and sometimes you use something and you're like immediately, nope, don't like that. But I'm not having that reaction to these. I think they're doing a good job. And these are tried and true products that I know, you know, function. They do really well for me. So I'm sorry if the focusing is a little annoying. I can see where it would be. But because of the feature that I'm using, honestly, because using ProRes takes up so much memory that I just don't have on my phone right now. I need to do like a picture purge, you know? I feel like I hoard pictures on my phone until like the very last minute, until I absolutely have to get rid of them. All right, put a little bit of this under the jaw, and then right here down the neck. Gotta season my chicken cutlet, friends. Season the chicken cutlet. And then it just creates a little bit of contour. I'm chunky, kids. Like, listen, I'm chunky. I know it. You might know it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell in front of a camera. So if you're chunky, you know. If you know, you know. You know? So far this brush is working well. I'm not mad at it. It's, I think, a little bit more work to get the desired result. I think that's just because I'm not used to using it. So, all right. We're done with that. Let's go ahead and bronze a little bit. Let's use one of these fluffier brushes to bronze today. I'm gonna use this Ofra bronzer because I'm trying to pan it. So there's not like a crazy, this is the angle. I'm gonna use this for blush. So I'm gonna use this one to bronze with. Let's just see how that does. It's a little denser, so I don't know how well it's gonna work. I kind of want it to be a little fluffier, but it's all right. We're not gonna go ham with this bronzer, but as I proceed to go ham. Cool. That's cool. Miss interacting with adults. I'm very much an extrovert. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm very much an extrovert, and it's hard when you're somebody who likes to be around people, not being around people. So I'm gonna take that same bronzer and I'm using a smaller brush, and I'm just gonna contour my nose just a little tiny bit, just because I feel like that BB cream kind of washed me out just a little bit. And I'm not looking for like crazy miracles here. I'm not somebody who feels the need to have like a tiny little nose. My nose is my nose, right? Like, come on, kids. Love yourself. It's okay. But I just don't want my nose to look a little bit crooked. So I'm just gonna do that just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not amazing at contouring my nose. I just like a little bit of dimension back in there, you know? Not trying to make it look bigger though. Okay. Good enough. Good enough as I continue to use the brush. Okay, let's finish this eye look. So let's use this little bit more narrow brush here. And we're gonna go back into the Night Flower palette. You know what? Yeah, let's look at these colors real quick. Let's see. We're gonna do the inner corner. I'm gonna do this as a pop in the inner corner. Now there is not a pencil brush in this set, but there is this little like lip brush here, which, by the way, it would take forever to do my lips with this would be like a lip liner brush. It wouldn't be like a lip brush. That would take forever. So I'm just gonna go into this shade here. We're gonna do this on the inner corner, just for a little razzle dazzle. I like a little pizzazz, you know? So let's do this. God, this blue is everything to me. I'm just doing this into the camera, so. All right, gorgeous. I like to bring it up just a little bit because I am extra. All right, so we're gonna go into the Juicy Cheeks palette here. I'm gonna use that same brush that I used before, and I'm gonna take some of the shade here, Sickly Sweet, and I'm gonna run it along my lower lash line. I don't wanna go down too far, so I'm just gonna use a gentle hand because I'm really not trying to have like crazy, you know, like, so I'm just gonna run this along there very gently so that the purple doesn't look like I got popped in the face, you know? Just a little something. All right, see, it's not bad. I'm just, like I said, using that same brush. I wish these were labeled. I wonder what the additional cost is like for brands to label their brushes. Do you think it's like a ridiculous added cost? Because as a consumer, I would much rather companies did that, you know? That way there's never any question about, so I feel like this eye is perfect, but this eye goes down just a little bit too far. So I'm gonna take my beauty sponge. I'm just gonna tap a little bit. Okay, just so that it's not so much, you know, as I proceed to put on purple blush. I am who I am. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go into the shade, this one. We're just gonna go for it. Go big or go home, right? Actually, let me start by putting just a little bit of like this shade on my cheeks, or this one. I'm gonna use raw. Let's use raw. I'm gonna just put a little bit on my cheeks, and I did read that these were pretty pigmented, so I'm just tappa, tappa, tappa. So I did read that these were pretty pigmented, so I am gonna tap it on my hand first, just to kind of diffuse that. And we're gonna put this all over the cheek here. Oh, that's really pretty. I'm gonna put a little bit right there on the bridge of my nose. That's really pretty. Ooh, I like that. I'm really glad that I tapped it on my hand because it would have been too much, I think, especially since I'm gonna be layering. So I'll do this, tap into here, and then, all right. Yeah, that's really pretty, I like that. It's diffusing beautifully, so I'm not mad at that. Okay, we'll do a little bit of that under the eye there. Might as well be on trend. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into this one here. And now I might fuck it up, but it's fine. So tap into that and then tap it on my hand. And I'm gonna focus that like here. I think I'm gonna focus that here. Oh, it's not bad on the face. I wasn't sure how that was gonna be on the face. It might be because I have a little bit of that color raw on the brush still, but it diffused like nicely. And I am tapping it on, I am tapping it on my hand to diffuse it. Okay, ooh, and honestly, I'm really excited because I was not expecting that to be as good as it is. Not mad at it, okay. Ooh, and I am making sure that I bring it to the eye so that it is continuous. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's funny, that purple color almost looks like, that's the dark purple. That almost looks pink on the cheek. Interessante. The pink of that's in that really comes through on the cheek. Oh, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Oh my gosh, it's a blush moment, friends. Okay, it's pretty even, right? And it doesn't look like I got punched, so that's a win. All right, so let's tap off just in case there's any loose. And I'm grateful that Blend Bunny put a mirror in this palette. It's kind of like when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, she hasn't been doing that. And I'm grateful to have one in this blush palette. So, because I'm the person that uses them. All right, so I'm just gonna use a washcloth here, and I'm just gonna rub off the additional of that purple, and then we're gonna diffuse it with this color here. I didn't mean for today to turn into like this is how you wear this, but it looks like it is. So Now I'm not gonna go all the way over it. I'm just gonna go like in this area here, and then we're just gonna bring this down. Just a little bit, almost like a blush kind of contour. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go up here. And we're just gonna diffuse it out very gently. I'm not putting like any pressure. It's just very little pressure. Ooh, we are having a moment. For a moment like these. Don't mind me. And I'm just gonna very light pressure here, here, and just bring it onto the cheek. Oh my gosh. I think with the purple highlighter, this is gonna be really pretty. Trust the process, okay? We are gonna do a berry lip so that everything is cohesive. But I like a blush. I actually kind of want to add a little bit of orange. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? Nah, we'll add some pink though. It's just so it's cohesive. But, ooh, girl. Is it too much? I'm too much though. We are gonna put a little bit up here though, just for continuity, so it's a little bit more balanced, you know? But I'm not mad at that. I think that diffused pretty well. I don't want to go too much darker, but I just want to like tap a little bit. What's nice is I don't feel like I look like I have a bruise, so that is always a win. So I do want, I'm gonna go in, this is gonna be a little crazy. I know that, and it's okay. I'm gonna mix these two here together just to add a little bit of something. Right here in the center of the eye there. So I'm tapping into that color Mouthwatering, which is like a watermelon-y pink, and the shade Ripe, which is that darker purple. Oh yeah. It might be a little much. That's okay. I told you, friends, I don't know when to stop. I'm gonna use this clean brush. I'm just gonna diffuse a little bit up here. Just diffuse it with a clean brush. But oh my gosh, what do you think? Is it too much? It's too much. I don't care. I like it. I do want a little, I find I'm missing on this side a little bit of that depth of color. So I am just tapping into more of that darker purple, just adding a little bit more here, and then diffusing downward just a little bit, just because I found like right there I was missing that depth that I wanted. So, oh, I like it though. I do like it though. It's almost very 80s to me, and I'm like really not mad at it. I just want to keep going. I just want to keep going. It's fine. Okay, so I am gonna grab a berry lip and I will be right back. All right, darlings. So while I was getting the lip cream, I went ahead and just finished the eyes. So I put on these Arttitude Cosmetics lashes in the style Muse. These were a pain in the ass to get on. It could just be me. Very well could be me. But they did not. The inner corners and outer corners did not want to stay. Did not want to stay. I am also wearing my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. I finally got a re-up of that because I have finally gone through all of the sample mascaras that I've had, with the exception of one that I just kind of don't really like. So, yeah. So love how that came out, although my eyes are kind of stuck together. I did use MakeupGeek eyeliners, RIP, in both my tight line and my waterline. There's purple on my waterline and then black on my tight line up there. And then the lip color is from the Colourpop Hocus Pocus 2 collection. It's Tonight We Fly. So I am trying to get through and use all of my lipsticks at least once this year. So we are going to finish up with highlight, and I think we're done. I like the blush drape. I do like it. These lashes are poking me in the inner corner of my eye, and it's good. It might make me crazy. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to use this Oden's Eye very sparkly, glittery highlight, because listen, if we're going to be extra today, let's just fucking be extra, right? So I'm going to use this little brush here, and I'm going to go into here, and let's just go to town. This is like, I find that this highlighter is kind of glittery, but I think it works for today's needs. So, yep, see how glittery it is? We are sparkling to the gods today, friends. Oh, there it is. There's the beaming. There you go. I'm gonna wrap this around to my brow bone here. Might as well emphasize all of these eyebrow hairs, right? I'll just tap that. You know? I love that it's like, don't see anything at all, and then bam! Sparkle to the gods. All right, let's do that again. Repeat. But it is very sparkly, see? High points of the cheek. See everything, and then bam! What highlight? Oh man, I love makeup. Got these Groucho Marx eyebrows right now. Nothing against anybody else if that's your vibe. I just need to clean mine up. They're a bit too natural for my vibe right now. Okay, and I do want to put a little bit. See, definitely glitter bukkake all over my face, but I want a little bit on my nose. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit there. Maybe, ooh, I wonder if this is safe for the lips. Because I am not an expert. Do not do as I do. Let's just do a little bit there. You know, who cares? We're going for continuity here, friends. Continuity. Okay. I think that is going to be the finished look. I feel like my eyelid is glued to my other eyelid because I got lash glue everywhere today. Yeah. Okay, friends. So what do you think about the blush drape? I know it's extra. It may not be your vibe. That's okay. But I'm feeling it today. I think it's kind of fun. I just want to keep messing with it more. And I put the brush down, Liz. Put it down. About the brushes. So I like the brushes. Let me preface that. Oh, I have two of the same. Or they're very similar. So about the brushes. I like the brushes. I think that they are worth the money. The only thing that I find is missing in this brush set for me, I would have liked there to have been a pencil brush set. Sorry, the lighting is a little bit different now. The lighting keeps changing. There, it's better. I would have liked there to have been a pencil brush. It's just a shape that I really like because I have smaller eyes. So I would have liked there to be a pencil brush. And I would have liked there to have been a smaller powder brush. Like, I like to use something a little more precise than this under my eyes. That's just my personal preference. But you get a lot of brushes for the money, so I'm not mad at it. These are the only shapes that I didn't use today, which I don't reach for these kind of shapes all that often, so that's pretty par for the course. But I did use the rest of the set, like pretty much everything in the set I used. And I found all of them to be, you know, good. They were good. A downside is that they are not labeled. So just know the shapes. If you don't know your brush shapes, this may not be a good set for you because I feel like you might fumble a little bit if you're not familiar with what shape does what. But if you know what the general, you know, gist of it is, you'll have no problems with this brush set. It's nice. Okay, I love your faces. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, and if you made it this far, leave me some purple emojis. Why not? Leave some eggplants in them or not the DMs. Keep your eggplants to yourselves in the DMs. No, just in the comments. I love your faces. Thanks for subscribing and being here. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's all I have for you. I'll leave all the words are hard. I will leave everything in the description box for you as always, like everything I used on my face today. And yeah, and this is coming back with the release of the Wildflower palette. Just FYI, they said it would be restocking with the Wildflower palette. So I think that's Saturday. Yeah. Anyway, I love your faces. Thanks for being here. Bye.